All right, welcome everybody. This is Keeping the Flow. We're kind of myself and Chad Johnson uh, are starting this new podcast thing. So we're trying to navigate technology and navigate the world's problems with
That's a
old
tall
folks.
order.
Like, yeah, with
That's a
old
tall order.
folks. So one of the things when myself and Chad we started talking and we decided that a great connection that is becoming widely popular now is a podcast. So we both thought it would be good. Myself as an operating from the operating side of things, and Chad from the kind of the sales and the industry side together. Our hope is that we will get some people in here. We have already had a lot of people that have been very positive about this. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback of people that said that they would love to come on and talk about whatever issues that we want to talk about, given their specialty. So um, maybe we'll start it off, Chad, with maybe some introductions. Do you want to start?
Yeah, yeah, why not? First I'll say, Jason, this is gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to doing this. And I think it's been a long time coming for you. I know you've been wanting to do this for a while, and finally here it is. So I'm excited to be a part of this too, and helping others, find out what the nuance of water system maintenance and water quality and distribution and everything else that we're going to touch. But I appreciate that, and I appreciate the invite and helping you with this. And I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. So I'm excited and looking forward to it. So I am Chad Johnson with USG Water Solutions. We have a corporate office in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm out of Aurora. So I'm pretty local to the Northern Illinois area. And what we focus on is preventative maintenance plans, primarily to water towers for municipalities. So our goal is to head maintenance off of the pass, mitigate or eliminate risk associated with maintenance programs and plans and coatings and repairs, and also lower life cycle costs. Those are the main things that we focus on for municipalities in order to be successful in their initial renovation, repairs, and then in the future. Does that sum it up?
Sounds good. And one of the things, I can introduce myself, a short introduction. So I'm Jason Upton, been in the water industry for over 30 years. I got my start in a town as the summer help weed whipping kid. So I enjoyed learning about the water plant at the time that I was working at the water plant, and just stayed in the industry. Moved to the wastewater, did wastewater at that same city for a while, and then did some contract operating on the side. Um, Went to another town, spent about 10 years there, and now I've ended up in Rock Island. So I've been in the industry a long time. I've seen a lot of the changes that have been in the industry. One of the big things, and we'll touch on it in probably one of our episodes, is retaining the workforce and getting new operators, getting new people into the industry. Uh, there's just not a lot of kids that graduate school and are like, yeah, I think I'm going to be a water or wastewater operator or work for a municipality. Um, so I try to uh, get more people into the industry. I teach on the side uh, at Blackhawk College, local college here in Rock Island. That's where I'm at now. I'm the superintendent for the city of Rock Island, so I oversee the water and the wastewater. Um, Ultimately, that's how I met Chad. We have a maintenance agreement, um, and on that note, I think that's one of the things that I see in the industry is maintenance programs. Especially like with Chad, you dealing with water tower maintenance. Um, that's a lot of times cities will try to do that themselves. I can check the water tower and we can inspect it. We know what we're looking for. I mean, it's part of our inspection process when the EPA shows up. So we know the things to check, but we're not the professionals. And unfortunately, you miss things. Your checks that used to be once a week now are like, you know, maybe once a month, and then it's every 6 months, and then you just kind of push that off the side because we got so many other things with municipalities that we have to deal with as operators. That then the next thing you know, we're forgetting about maintenance. So
Right. And that guy who did that quit. So now what do you do? So that happens. That happens.
yeah, and like it's not our specialty. So I think anymore you see that a lot in the industry, whether it be working on pumps, whether it be water towers, whether any kind of uh contracting services. I think you're seeing that in the industry. More people are leaning towards contracting out services that they can't handle. One, the workforce, you don't have as many people working in your municipality. You've got other responsibilities, other things that draw you away from maintaining your stuff. So you turn to different companies, whether it be pumps, water towers, to kind of help you with the maintenance portion of that, because it is part of compliance is making sure that our water towers are safe.
That's right. That's right. So, um, no, and uh, Rock Island is no exception of the rule of what's going on in the industry, and that is, yeah, the lack of preventative maintenance. There is no set it and forget it with anything. You want it to be, but then eventually it catches up with you, and before you know it, uh, as you said, a couple old guys trying to find find the technology bug is a little tough. But the older we get, the faster time goes. So, 5 years ago seems like 5 minutes ago, and you just lose track of time real quick. So that is an issue, and I agree that the up and coming the next generation is not aware of this industry. It can be very, very rewarding, and it can be stable. The water industry is recession proof, so there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you want to make a career out of the water industry, whether it's sales or being digging ditches, which I've done all that too. It can be very, very beneficial for you. So in the long run, if you put your time
Right.
in, you'll get rewarded.
Yeah, and that's just one of the things that we hope to talk about on Keeping the Flow maintenance. I think Chad's probably going to be our first episode. This is kind of our intro. We're trying to iron out all the kinks and making sure we look pretty on camera. I don't. It takes a lot of camera to make me look pretty. But there's
No way.
other
Come on.
issues that we're also going to talk about dealing in the water and wastewater industry. Um, retention of employees. I kind of talked about that. How do we keep employees in the industry? Um, communication, and that's one of the main reasons why I saw a need in the industry for better communication. uh, most of your smaller towns, they don't necessarily get that have that advantage to have a lot of employees where they can just take off and go to conferences. You learn a lot at conferences. There's a lot of communication between other from municipality to municipality. There's a lot of communication between sales reps telling you what's new in the industry. So you got that opportunity to learn from them at a conference. But a lot of municipals can't afford to have their employees go to conference, or they can't afford the time off to have their employees go away to a conference. So, I think that this will be a good way to kind of open up some communication. I'm hopeful that operators and people in the municipals or in the industry will ask some questions, submit some questions. We have our email. Our email is keeping the flow three. So KEEPING THEFLOW3 at gmail.com. Keeping the flow three at gmail.com. Shoot us some questions that you might have in dealing with municipalities or in the sales part of the industry. Um, love to have different topics that we could talk on. Um, and there's a lot of them, in just our general conversation when we were just sitting around talking. That's how this all started. We both saw this need for to get information to operators, and hopefully answer some of their questions. Because if I don't know the answer, I'm hoping I know somebody after being in the industry for 30 years. I'm hoping I know somebody that can give us some answers. So, um,
Well, this will be a good opportunity to do that too. To get the questions and then find the people that have the answers and be an educational platform for people that can't go to conferences or have something to rely back on. And then if we can use this as a library of resource for people as well too, to say, hey, how did you solve this problem? Well, check episode 13, as we talk
yeah,
about that, or whatever. And this will
I
be a
don't
good
I
way to
don't
do that.
think we're gonna be starved for topics. Do you? I mean, knowing being a part of the industry, you see. I mean, we're just kind of bombarded not only with compliance issues, but
Lead
just
lead
every
line sa-
day.
lead line replacements are huge right now. Funding is another big issue. How do we pay for it all? What's out there? Um, I and just everyday things that you encounter when you dig up the ground. Just because the plan says something's there doesn't mean that plan is right. So how do you get around those issues, and how do you fix things effectively and safely? So safety is another thing that we could talk about. So lots of topics, and and I think we'll be a good resource for it. We have and I didn't mention I've been in this industry over 25 years. Jason, you've been going on 30 plus as well. It's Hey, we know a lot of people, and if I don't know the answer, I'm not saying I do. I will find somebody that does, and that's how we can get our word out there.
Yeah, they like I said, I teach at Blackhawk, and that seems to be one of the things that I illustrate to them too is when they're in my class. I usually average about 14 in my class, and I always tell them like this is I kind of date myself sometimes. I tell them that this is the start of their Rolodex. Like maybe most of them usually know still what a Rolodex is, but connect contacts, making sure you have the right contacts because in this industry too, like if you have a problem, you got to know who to reach out to, who to make those contacts with, because it's all about for me, it's all about making sure that my residents have water, that their wastewater's flowing outside of their house. Most of them don't care when they flush where it goes. Um, I do, because we have regulations that we got to maintain with the wastewater on the water industry on the water side of it. Um, so making sure that we're keeping the flow. You know,
We're gonna live up to our name for sure.
yeah.
Interesting question for you, Jason. So now you said our email is keeping the flow three. So how many more keeping the flows are out there? How are we competing? Why isn't it just keeping the flow?
I don't know. When I was trying to set up the email, that was like the only thing I tried keeping the flow. I tried keeping the flow like one, two, and it kind of gave me three. It said, here, choose
Yeah.
this. And I'm like, okay, apparently the others are taken. So apparently somebody else is keeping the flow as well as us. Uh,
Hey, I doubt it. I doubt it.
right. I just wanted, like I said, myself and Chad, we just wanted to kind of get on here. We can we're going to kind of practice with this a little bit, see how it goes. But this is kind of the introduction of who we are, and what we plan to talk about. And like I said, I think there's plenty of topics that we could talk about. If anybody has any ideas, certainly shoot us a line. We're also on Facebook. I know we're on LinkedIn, so we've got all our we've got our social media, so we're ready. Now we just got to make some content.
Yeah,
So that's hopefully what we can do, and we can help people progress in the drinking water and wastewater industry.
yeah. Um, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun too. So it's not supposed to be dry and boring. We're gonna laugh a little bit and probably joke more than we're gonna take things seriously. At least I will. I'll be the comic relief. That'd be fine.
And really, that's kind of where, if you look back when I first came into started treating or messing with the water, um, it was kind of, I don't know, it was fun. I think, when we would go to a conference, everybody think, oh, it's all fun and games. And it is, we have fun. There's a lot of contacts. The thing about a conference is you see people that you don't normally see, and you make those contacts, those networking contacts. And it's fun. But most of the time, it's water people that are talking water stuff. So we're going to try to make water as fun and wastewater as fun as we can. Um, if you're in the water or wastewater industry, you might smile or laugh a little bit more because you kind of like, yeah, I know, I've been there. But a lot of times we have a cocktail, maybe who knows, maybe on a couple of ours, we might have a cocktail and have
All
some
this is
fun.
done
So.
after hours, right? We're doing this later,
Right.
so
That's why I
we're
told
we're at
that's
the
why I
clock.
told you it's gotta be after hours. That way we could, if we want to have a cocktail or do a cheers or something, we can do that too.
Yeah.
So um I'm looking forward to this, Chad. Like I said, this gives us um that communication to the people. Hopefully we can be as popular as, Joe Rogan or something.
Who knows?
Um, you know,
Uh, so let me know of give me a teaser. So what are we doing next? You mentioned we might have a special guest star that we're dropping some news. Is that true or what's happening? Do
I'm
we have
working
a little teaser?
on a couple. Everybody that I've talked to has been like, "Sure, I will be on. I would love to be on your podcast." Um, I do. I have not got that solidified just yet. Probably our first one. I think you should be the first one since you're part of this content creation. So I think our first episode will be talking to Chad about tower maintenance, why it's important for tower maintenance. And the things that you guys do, utility service, not only for the customer but for the people that are drinking the water. You know, so I think that will be our first one. We got some pump companies that are wanting to come on here. I've got some. I'm hoping to get some professionals to talk about PFAS. PFAS is really big in the industry right now. It's not anything that's really new. Um, Sometimes as a society, we react to things like, oh my gosh, PFAS has been around for a very long time. We've known about it. Uh, it's just we've never taken it seriously on removing it.
I threw
It's
all
kind of
my
like, yeah, go
I
ahead.
I threw all my pots and pans away because of you. So just so you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I gave you a couple movies to watch there. The Devil We Know and what's the other one? Can't think of it. It's
Well, you
drawing a
just need to
blank
watch
right now.
the devil we know, and that's good enough for me. But
Dark Waters. Dark
Dark Water,
Waters is the
yeah.
movie. Devil We Know is the documentary. Kind of talks about PFAS, the effects of PFAS. Um, that came out quite a while ago, really,
Yeah,
and I
but it was
never
news to
really
me.
paid it much attention, as most people did. They were kind of like, oh yeah, just something else. At the time, we were dealing with cyanotoxins. Uh, you know, that's like algae in the water that when it lyses open, it can cause, fish kills and can be harmful to drink the water. Uh, there's a lot of stuff in our water. I think for the most part, I would go on record and say that we have some of the safest water around nowadays, compared to what back pre-chlorination and every in the treatment processes that we have now. Much better as far as treatment,
Yeah,
um,
drinking the water
but
was
there's
like a
stuff.
diet program. It was like a
Yeah,
diet program, a weight loss program. Maybe not that bad, but who
yeah. I was gonna say,
knows?
But it was, I mean, all of this stuff that we're dealing with today is stuff that's been around for a long time. I mean, they didn't just start using lead yesterday. I mean, we've used lead as service lines for a long time. It was kind of the go-to for a service line because you could work it. It was malleable. You could bend it, take it around corners. It was heavy. You know, if you've ever lifted a lead service line, it's heavy. So I don't know if I would want to deal with that. But you know, as as an operator though, I've known that lead could have harmful effects, and we've been keeping track of inventory. We've been we've supposed to have been keeping track of our inventory for a long time. But we just never did take it serious. And there was never anything to kind of push us to take it serious. And now they come out and they said, well, all right, folks, now you've got to have an inventory and we're going to be serious about this inventory. And you're going to have to remove them, let's say 10 years, right? I think that's setting the bar pretty high for us to have all of the lead out in 10 years, but we'll see what happens. I think financially and even just plumbers, we plan to have some people on here too talking about lead and copper services or lead services and removal of lead services. Um, but again, all of this stuff has been around. And, you look at PFAS. I got in a discussion with a guy here a while back, and it was it's always there's always been PFAS. How long has there been Teflon pans? Um, non-slip. It's in Gore-Tex. It's in foods. So it's always been around. So hopefully we can have some guests on here that will help us learn a little bit about more about PFAS. Talk about removing PFAS in your water if you've got it as a detect in your system. I know out in the Northeast, they've been removing PFAS for quite a while. Here in the central part of Midwest, we we haven't removed it. We've known it's there. We've known it's has been in our systems, but we haven't really taken any real uh, removal. We haven't really practiced the technique of removing it because it is pretty difficult. So, um, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I kind of got off on a
No,
tangent, but
just who we're just the importance and finding some people to talk to and talk to about it and get some more education and how to remove it and why. And I mean, yeah, I mean, I didn't know anything about PFAS until you say, hey, you need to watch this movie. I had no idea. And
yeah,
I've been I'm not a spring chicken, right? So just simple things like that. I mean, and then I would like to get some funding people I'm working with for RCAP, and maybe we could have some AWWA people on, for Illinois AWWA, what the programs they're working on and how they could help and reach out and their ideas. I mean, there's anywhere we can go. And guess what? The world's our oyster, Jason. Whatever we want to do, let's do
yeah, yeah.
it.
Yeah, so our first episode will be. I think if you're accepting, I think having you kind of talk about it, and then our goal is here to officially the official launch. I guess is the 14th. WaterCon will be going on. We'll have a lot of conversations that we'll be able to interact with at WaterCon. Um, for anybody who doesn't know what WaterCon, it's AWWA. It's a conference that's held in Peoria. Now it was in Springfield. Now it's held in Peoria. Uh, Great event. Helps vendors stay in touch with operations and municipals and with each other. There's great learning sessions that you can take in, get your CEUs, uh, learn about what other municipals are doing. It's kind of on the engineering. You get a lot of engineering answers, uh, projects that they've done. So it's a great networking event. And that's going to be going on that week of the 14th. So that's where we're going to officially announce um, keeping the flow. We're kind of doing that now, right? But
Yeah. Well, we
the
still have a lot of
official
work
like
to do.
Shara, here it is. And our hope is that we'll have a couple episodes posted by then, so that can you can binge watch us or listen to us, binge
Yeah.
listen, and
On the way to your next meeting, or on the way
yeah.
to
And then our
church, or
hope is just to kind of keep the flow in that way too. Keep people coming on. Anytime somebody wants to talk, we'll put them on and ask them some questions. And hopefully they'll be able to provide us some answers. And then just our general input too. So
yeah. And I would say that we probably shouldn't keep it just to Illinois. I mean, there's lots of things going on everywhere. And some people want to get on, and maybe other people want to hear what's going on in Texas or something, you know. I've been to I did a little I did a little quiz one time to see how many states you've been to. I think I've been to 46 of them.
you have,
Yeah.
geez, world
So I've
traveler.
been to a lot of states. I used to work for a, uh, a a company called Hydrostop, and we did I was a regional manager for Hydrostop, but then I did trainings as well. So I've been all over the country, um, and Canada. So lots of things going on out there.
I don't think I would even come close. I don't think I'm close. I have never really added it up. Like however many states you go from here to Florida, maybe here to Pennsylvania. I've flown into a couple here to visit family, but
Yeah, the
um,
rule is you had to spend at least one night in the state in order to qualify that you've been to that state. You can't just drive through
yeah, then that lowers me down. You know,
it.
I could say I went to California, but the reason why I went to California is because I was leaving Las Vegas, made a right turn instead of a left. We were
Yeah.
heading to the Grand Canyon. Next thing I know,
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, here
"Oh
I
my
am.
gosh, welcome to California!" I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" So I'm a terrible driver, but
That's all right.
anyway. So, all right, I think yeah, we got a little bit of a snippet here. Welcome. We'll put this on. We'll go ahead and post all this onto social media. Again, if you guys have any questions or any topics that you'd like to see us talk about, we're going to keep throwing topics at you. But if there's something that you would like to see us talk on, certainly drop us a comment on our Facebook, on our LinkedIn, or Instagram. It'll probably be on Instagram as well. Or just shoot us an email, keeping the keeping the flow 3 at gmail.com. So thanks everybody, and stay tuned. I think this is going to be great. I'm excited. I know Chad's excited.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
So
And again, it was a faithful night. Um, Maybe we'll tell the story um, on some other episodes, but it was a would you do with me? Would you do this with me moment? And I was like, let's do it. So it
yeah,
was a lot
yeah.
of fun.
I've been wanting to do this for a while just because I saw the need, and um, the need for more communication, more information to be put out there to operators. And so um, I thought it would be a good idea. And I've never been able to really like pull the trigger and do it. You know, it's easier not to do something and then say I should have done it than it is just to do it. So,
Yeah, and you know
um,
what? Who cares? You know what? And like I told you, it might suck, but who cares? We're doing it, so
right.
we're only going to get better from here. So if this is the worst that
Yeah,
we're
I
going to
mean,
do,
even if we get maybe, I mean, surely our family likes us enough to like
yeah,
jump on it and watch some of our stuff. Maybe we can get a few people here and there. We've already had a few people. I think it might be my family too, making me feel better that have got onto our Facebook. So certainly, you know, get on there. We'll be posting them on Facebook, Spotify, and
Well, here's a key though, Jason, is we're doing this because we want to, and we just want to have a little bit of fun, and we'll do it for as long as we need to, or for whatever. But we're not doing this to be like make a paycheck. We're not doing this because we want to try to like get paid or something, or
oh,
you
really?
know. I
I
mean, do
thought we were going to be millionaires doing this. You
oh,
know, like
well, we'll talk about that later, I guess.
once they see us, and like I thought maybe they'd be interviewing us as experts one
Oh,
day,
right,
or
right, right.
uh,
Podcast
you
experts,
know,
right?
be making some TikTok videos.
We could do
And
that. Hey, we just spread the word, you know? That's it.
yeah, so All right. Sounds good. Stay tuned, everybody. Again, thanks for stopping in because apparently you've clicked it if you've seen it and you've made it through what maybe 25 minutes of us talking, literally just introducing what we're going to do. Then wait, stay tuned for the good stuff. The good stuff's coming up.
Yeah, we're just getting started. Exactly. No, good stuff. So thanks, Jason. We'll see you on the next one.
All right. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks.